싸고. 오, 커플 신발. 뉴욕?
If the New York area is home, we'll take you the first to welcome you home. Enjoy the remainder of your morning.
They're making fun of me. I'm not leaving. What am I doing on the comments? You didn't tell me.
OTC benefits. This blue
오! 시티뷰.